Today I'm going to share with you guys how I got over 450 TV placements in the year 2023. I'm a sync licensing composer and I've been doing this for over 5 years now. So I'm going to share with you 10 tips on how you can achieve similar results. By the end of this video, you will have all the tools necessary to get many TV placements each year. So sit back and enjoy, and don't skip over any tip in this video because everything's crucial. It's all related to each other. So let's get started. 10 tips for getting more TV placements. Tip number 1, write high quality music for exclusive libraries that specialize in TV placements. Take it from me, you're not going to get a lot of TV placements from using, royalty free sites like Pond5, Artlist, Motion Array. Those sites are just not built for licensing to TV. Those sites are more for YouTubers and wedding videographers and low budget stuff. If you want your music on TV, you're going to have to work with TV libraries, and they are mostly exclusive. I would say at least 99% of my TV placements have come from exclusive libraries. If you don't already know, an exclusive library is a library that represents your music on an exclusive basis. This means that you can only use those same music tracks with that library. You can't post them to other sites. It's exclusive. That's what it means. A lot of new composers are hesitant to do these exclusive deals because, what if it doesn't get placed, or it just sits there and I wasted my time? I'm here to say, don't be afraid of those, because those are what I do. I prefer those types of deals. And that's where the TV placements are. And they're not going to roll the dice on a non-exclusive library like Artlist. A lot of the music on those sites is retitled, and you never know where it came from. There could be royalty-free loops in there. So it's not safe for them to use that music in most cases. So don't be afraid about exclusivity. Be excited about it. How do I find these kinds of libraries? One method I use to find exclusive libraries is to browse on sites like APM, Universal, Warner Chappell, BMG. These are your major sub-publishers. They represent lots of libraries on their sites. So you can browse them, click through them, and find their websites for their own libraries, not just the umbrella website that would be APM or Universal. So find those libraries, submit to them personally. You're going to have a lot better results if you submit to them through their own website versus the BMG or whatever it is. Because those large ones get 1 million probably submissions a day. You're just going to be one of so many submissions, and you probably won't break through the noise. Tip number 2, write lots of music every year. I would recommend writing at least 100 tracks every year. I have done usually 120 to 150 per year since I've been doing this. Make it part of your weekly plan. If you're not putting out consistently music, then it's going to be a slow build. It's a slow build no matter what, so you got to get writing. Write, record, keep it going. That's not to say that you should just pump out stuff and don't care about the quality. You have to have good quality music always if you want to succeed, if you want someone to enjoy the music enough to put it in their library, and then if you want to be chosen to get your music on TV by a music supervisor, you definitely need good quality music. If you would want to listen to it, they would want to listen to it. You would do better, I think, with 50 very good tracks compared to 150, okay tracks. So quality over quantity, but still try to keep the numbers going. Tip number 3, don't sign any bad deals. There's a lot of libraries now, especially preying on the new composers. They're putting out just bad deals. They're going to say, we're going to take 75% sync fees and 75% of the back-end royalties. This is a no-go. You want to do 50-50 is the standard library deal. 50-50 across the board, that is. So you're going to get 50% of the sync fees that they receive and 50% of the back-end royalties. This means back-end royalties through your PRO, your performing rights organization. So if you're with ASCAP or BMI or CSAC or whatever, the back-end royalties are the ones paid through those. And typically, the library will take the full publisher's share, and you will take the full songwriter share. And once again, these bad deals, you might get placements from libraries like that, but where does it end? All the other libraries are going to start doing that if people are signing bad deals. It'll become the new norm. Nobody wants that, especially veterans in this space. We all want to make money. We want to make a fair amount of money. It's up to all of us to make sure that we don't sign anything bad. Tip number 4, Work with music libraries that have reputable sub-publishers throughout the world. This is a big one. When I browse libraries and I try to search and submit to libraries, I make sure that they have worldwide representation. Some major sub-publishers include the ones I mentioned before: Universal, BMG. A big one is Sonaton, which is in Germany and Austria. We have APM, which is in the US and Canada. But basically, if they have any sub-publisher in a territory, then you will benefit from that. Because would you rather place all your music only in the US? Or would you rather have your music all over the world? I think we all know the answer to that. Worldwide distribution will exponentially increase your chances of getting placements. I'll say a fun fact for myself. Last year was my highest earning year in music licensing. And I live in the US, but my top earning country was actually Germany. Tip number 5, structure your music for sync licensing. This means make your music builds. Don't just have a static loop that keeps going for 2 minutes or whatever. You want to have start with a quick intro, build it up, add some more instruments for the next couple bars, add more, have breakdowns, have a B section. If it's boring, then sometimes they like a track, but they'll use it for 10 seconds. If your track builds and evolves, they'll use it for longer. They might use it for 30 seconds or a minute or whatever, the full track sometimes. So make your music build. Change the drum beat in the B section, etc. If you would like listening to it, then so would a music supervisor or anybody watching the TV show or anybody. If it's good, it's good. People can tell when you put effort into something. Tip number 6, diversify. Compose lots of different styles of music. Work with a bunch of different music libraries. If all you do is write rock music for library A and what they do is get sports placements, then okay, you got some sports placements, but you're not going to get a variety of placements. You might not get a variety of countries. You want to have different styles so that they can be used for different situations. You want to have music that works with reality TV. You want sports. You want scripted TV, news shows, etc., movies, commercials, trailers, promos. All the different types of music you have will get different placements, and it will build up this whole, web of music that you have. Tip number 7, mix and master your own music. This seems like an obvious one, but a lot of newcomers don't really get the idea. You're not going to make a lot of money in this business if somebody else is mixing your music, especially if you're paying them. And if you're not paying them, they're going to want to share or something. You want to mix, get good at mixing, get good at mastering so that you can do it all. Because a lot of placements are not going to pay a lot of money anyway. So if you paid this guy, $100 to mix your song and then somebody else $50 to master it, you spent $150 on one track. What if that track earns you $7 from a placement and then, you get 25 cents every statement after that? Then you lose money. You have to be able to mix and master your own stuff. And some placements won't even pay at all, which is, I know it's absurd. That's a topic for another day. But some placements will pay pretty well and some of them won't. It's kind of a crapshoot, but the goal is to get as many as possible, and some of them will be good. Some of them won't be that good. It's just the way it is. If you are not confident in your mixing and mastering skills, then you might want to start on a royalty-free site like Pond5, Artlist, Motion Array, Audio Jungle. There's nothing wrong with this. So, people do use these sites. It's just more for YouTubers and wedding videographers, maybe college students. There's nothing wrong with starting there. I started in that space. It was different when I started, 5-6 years ago. So, they're subscription-based, most of those libraries now. You're not going to make a ton of money, but to get your mixing skills up to par, it's a worthwhile thing, and you can make some money along the way. So you don't want to submit to major libraries when your quality is just not there. They're not going to take it. They might ignore your emails after that. So, feel free to get your feet wet in the royalty-free market. It's not going to get you a lot of TV placements, but it is a valuable tool for your growth. Tip number 8, track your music on a website called TuneSat. TuneSat is a free website. You can upload your tracks, and it can detect uses of your music on TV. And it mostly detects music from the US and Europe. There's a lot of stations in those countries that it monitors. It doesn't monitor everything, so you'll get some idea of what placements you're getting, and it's a good tool so you can be like, oh, hey, library A got me 6 placements in the past 4 months in Germany. They must be doing well in Germany. Let's say you upload a full album of library B and you're not seeing much action on there. You might decide that library is not going to be a good one to submit to thereafter. Okay, not every library and every album and every track is going to do well. So TuneSat is a valuable tool for just seeing how your music is doing. And if you are getting TV placements, it can help you track down the money if you haven't gotten paid after a reasonable amount of time. And if this happens, reach out to the library that placed the music. Don't reach out to your PRO. They're probably not going to help you. You want to reach out to the library that got the placement so they can track down missing cue sheets and stuff like that for ads too. It's not cue sheets, but it's different. TuneSat will at least be a valuable tool for you to say, yes, this library is working for me. They are getting placements, and I should submit more music to them if I want to get more placements like these. Tip number 9, write music for briefs. If you work with exclusive libraries, from time to time they will likely receive briefs. Briefs are calls for specific types of music, and they're usually from the clients themselves. If a client is asking for a specific type of music from this library, there's a very high chance that they are going to use this type of music in their productions, in their TV shows, whatever. So your goal when you write for briefs is you want to match the vibe, the instrumentation of the reference tracks that they send you without copying them. You go with a similar key, tempo, instrumentation, and you want it to sound like the examples they sent. If you write for briefs, the library will like you. They will send you briefs more often when they get them, and briefs are a great way to establish a working relationship with a library. Tip number 10, and this is an important one, be patient. This is a slow-moving business. It's like molasses. Let's say you compose 50 tracks in your first year, and you sign, 30 of them to various libraries. They might take 1 year to publish them, and it might take you 6 months to start seeing placements from those. And then you're going to get paid probably 9 months or longer after they air. So that's 2 or 3 years from when you write the music to when you get paid. Okay, it's a slow-moving business. It's royalties. It's not like paying somebody to fix your car or something. And even with that, so 50 tracks, 20 of them were not taken, so you might have to shop those tracks for longer. It might take you a year or more sometimes to find a home for those tracks. One reason why I'm getting a lot of stuff now is because I did a lot of work a while ago. You have to just plant a bunch of seeds. Eventually, some of them will grow, some of them won't. That's just the nature of it. The best situation would be you write a full album of one style, right? Send it to a couple libraries. Maybe the second or third one will actually take it. That'd be great. And then they publish quickly. They publish it within 3 months. And then you start to see immediate placements. So, best case scenario, when you write the music, you're going to get paid about a year afterwards. So that's still a long time. We must be patient. Okay, guys, and for reference, I started my licensing journey in 2018. So it's been almost 6 years now that I've been doing this. And I had a little over 450 TV placements last year. And it's building more every year. So the previous year, I think I had, 250 maybe. So quite the jump. Keep writing, keep submitting, improve your quality, keep working. It's possible to get there. I'm not there. I'm not full time with this yet. But, I think I have 700 or 800 tracks. Some people are saying, 1,000 or 1,500 tracks is what you need to make a living from it. Also, you need time. Let's say you did 1,000 tracks in 3 years. It would probably still take you at least 6-7 years to start earning the royalties and receiving them to a point where you can make a full-time income. It's different for everybody. Some people might need 2,000 tracks or whatever. It's not something to be concerned with the numbers. Keep writing good music. If it's good, people will use it, and they will come back and they will want to hire you to record more music. It's a long-term career. Here are the methods that I use to find out about my TV placements. Number 1, TuneSat. That's a quick way to find out where your music's being used and what TV show. It tells you what TV show and everything, what channel and what time it played. So it's cool if you can track down the show and watch it. And in the early days, that's some fun stuff. You can be like, oh yeah, this is my music here. The second way that I found out about placements is through my PRO statements. They send you a statement, usually quarterly, and it lists, hey, you got paid this much for this placement, this much for this. So since TuneSat is not foolproof, some of the placements on my statements I didn't know about until I got the statements. And number 3, cue sheets. So through your PRO, they'll upload them to your PRO if they do such a thing. I know ASCAP put the cue sheets into your account. The cue sheets, you may have found out about the placements, you may have not from TuneSat, but you'd see the cue sheet and then you'd get paid X amount of months later. The libraries don't typically tell you when you've gotten a placement. Usually you just have to, wait till you get paid or check it on TuneSat. The libraries are just simply too busy to email or call everybody when they get a placement. Some of the boutique libraries will be a little more on top of this. They'll tell you when they've gotten stuff. And like I said, guys, it took me over 5 years of really hard work, lots of composing and recording, learning from my mistakes to get to where I am now. So it's not an overnight thing, but if you keep at it, you can get there. People say that this industry is saturated, and yeah, there's a lot of people out there doing it, especially in the COVID times. Everyone was like, oh, since I'm home, I'm going to record and send it out to libraries, and they're getting a lot of submissions and stuff, but I think the amount of people who are doing it consistently, professionally, is still not that much. Some people are doing it for a hobby. If you really have the luxury of doing this full time, then kudos to you. That's the dream. So yeah, after five or 6 years, my hard work is paying off. I finally saw a really good paying year last year. More TV placements, more payments, higher payments. I'm excited for the future, but I'm not going to stop composing because, sky's the limit, right? And I'm not full time with it yet. So I'll admit that to you guys. 450 TV placements in 1 year was not enough for me to go full time. But anyway, that's it for today, guys. I wish you guys a lot of success in sync licensing. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you again next time.